friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. I have not been live in a week. Well, on this show. I've been live with Roxy on Callin. I've been on The World Girls. I've been on Only Stupid Answers. I've done SCN Live, and I've been all over the map on social media and everywhere. However, I've not been live with Roxy in a week. It's just a long time for me to not do my own YouTube show. Sorry about that. Here I am. I just got back from Boston. I landed last night, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about my trip. I talked a little bit about it on SEN. I talked a little bit about it on The World Girls, but this will be my entire rundown of what took place in Boston, Massachusetts. I'll give you all that tea. I was there 10 days, which is a long amount of time to be home for me. A lot of people get to go home for longer than that, but a lot of people get to go home for less long than that. So here we go one more time. Everybody feeling fine? Here we go now. NSYNC, here we go. NSYNC has got the flow. I also, tonight, as I have mentioned, am going to a concert that I could not be more excited about. So currently, if you guys can't see it, I am wearing my Joan Jett shirt, which was given to my father by Joan Jett. Yeah, I got that good thing on. Okay. So now that I got that out of the way, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Send in your questions, comments, concerns, bits, bots, thoughts, and twats. Appreciate the support that you can give here on this show, because holy shit, have things been expensive recently. I know it's the same thing for you guys, but we're in a fucking recession. My rent went up. My health insurance has gone up. How that's possible is beyond me, and it's about to go up even more. I have an HMO. I'm trying to switch over to a PPO. Switching over to a PPO is thousands more a year. I obviously have to pay for my own health insurance because I'm freelance. Shout out to all you freelance motherfuckers out there. It is thousands and thousands of dollars, and that's for the lowest end of health insurance. So that, and traveling around is expensive. Thank you to the Boston Film Festival who flew me out and put me up, which is fucking amazing. And almost no film festivals do that. So I'm so grateful that that happened. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to go. However, it's the Ubers, it's the meals, it's the drinking, which doesn't seem like something you have to do. But when you are in work mode and you're out and you're doing your thing, it's hard to avoid buying somebody else a drink or whatever. Anyway, y'all know the deal. Appreciate you. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Ask me questions about being home. Ask me questions about the festival. Ask me questions about my eye makeup routine. That's kind of pretty, right? I did a whole thing for this concert. It's like a silver into light blue into gray into a little bit of black on the end with a big wing. None of y'all gave a fuck about that, did you? All right. Yeah, Ryan Payne, you can always write them up as a work expense. Of course, I am going to expense it, but that doesn't mean I don't pay for it. It just means I don't get taxed on it, which doesn't help. Does not help. It does not help. Let's go into the Streamlabs. Let's see what's happening in here. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Can't wait to jump right into all the things that have taken place in the last 1 week since it's been 1 week since you looked at me. For those of you guys who are asking what are my thoughts about some entertainment news stuff, if you Streamlabs in, I'll talk about whatever it is you want. Otherwise, I do a show called Live with Roxy on Callin, that app that is free. Thank goodness they pay me to be there to talk about entertainment news, so y'all don't have to. This show is fan funded. That show is not. So you can check out all my entertainment news thoughts over there. Let's go into the Streamlabs. Always Lloyd Streamlabbing in today. Said, hi, Roxy. Hi, Lloyd. Or should I call you Lloyd? His name was Lloyd. He was a show boy. Glenn Caesar in the house said, hey, Roxy, happy or whatever adjective works best for you Monday. Thanks for hanging out. And then he wishes love to my family. Oh, I miss them so much. And then he said, whoops, I meant Tuesday. Oh, you could have fooled me. When you said Monday, I believed you. Oh, well, happy or whatever adjective works best for you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Yep. Because whatever day it is, it's still totally up to you to decide how you feel about it. That's so cute, Glenn. Glenn also says, special shout out to the Boston Film Festival for booking that day and those days at the hotel So you got to do that little vacation and live it up, even though you were back home. Fuck yeah. To that movie star, Roxy, to me, you're crushing it. Thank you so much. The weird thing about crushing it is that I just started a movie that I got to show all my friends and family, and I still feel like I am just so far away from my dreams that I'm trying to accomplish. Most of my cast members have already booked something else since the movie, and are already working. Corinne, who plays my twin sister in the movie, she is fucking annihilating right now. She went and shot. I actually don't know whether I'm allowed to talk about it or not. So anyway, she's just fucking annihilating right now, killing it. Drew, you guys saw, Andrew Guy, who has been filming for Clash and like living it the fuck up, crushing it. I was talking to Colin and Sheldon, audition after audition right now, and they're just like soaring. They're soaring, flying. And Candace is always doing amazing. So it's just like, and by the way, it's not a comparison game, but I'm just like, come on, what's next? I've been auditioning a lot, haven't been booking a lot, which I feel like I'm really kicking ass on my auditions. So I'm like, am I just not what they're looking for right now? Which is always very possible. And really, at the end of the day, what I want to do is make my movie. I want to make my movie. I think I'm going to spend, when I have a little more money, I need to hire a line budget person so that they can give me a line budget, and I can budget out a movie of mine. I think I need a couple $100,000. So I'm going to have to try to raise that before I can make my movie. But it's what I want to do in life. So when I've put my mind to things, I usually can figure it the fuck out, other than paying my health insurance. I usually am able to figure things out. So anyway, just giving you guys, putting good things out there, because Shana Tova, it is about to be the end of Rosh Hashanah at sundown, and I am putting out my final New Year's resolutions. I'm going to be making my own projects. Please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, Roxy, figure it the fuck out. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Send in that support. Appreciate you guys, those of you who have already done so and asked me questions about the Boston Film Festival. Let's get right into it. So just in general, in Boston, I went home 10 days ago, and we celebrated my house, my dad living in my house for 50 years. And that was fucking precious. My family all came. Unfortunately, my uncle, right before that, like 3 days before that, was diagnosed with a really tough form of cancer. It has spread. And so he had cancer when my mom had cancer. He was able to beat it. She obviously was not. And they always had a special connection from that time. And then his cancer is back with a vengeance right now and has spread to 3 places. So that happened right before the family party, and he had to have surgery, brain surgery, to remove one of the tumors. And so he was unable to be there, of course. And it was a very strange backdrop to a celebratory party, because I was there and just, I have a very tumultuous relationship with that side of my family for reasons that I can't really get into. It's been very up and down for a very long time. And we've struggled over a lot of different things, especially since my mom has passed. Drama, I would call it more than drama. Drama meets trauma that is not worth fully discussing right now. It's not that it's not worth it, but it's not the right time. And so when I heard that he was sick, it puts A, things into perspective, but B, it is an interesting scenario when there has been issues in the family, but then somebody is very sick, kind of like what you do with that. And so he's got 2 daughters, one of whom I've always spoken to more than the other one. The younger one just kind of has reached out to me more often. And so trying to navigate my relationships with them and with his wife, and all of that. Anyway, so at the party, I felt really blessed that a lot of a couple of my childhood friends came with their kids and were there and running around. But I also got to spend some good time with my family and kind of just, I feel like, extend an olive branch. And then after that, 4 of my cousins, after that day, decided to come to Always Lola, which I think that maybe one or two of them would have come to if we hadn't had the party anyway, if I had asked them. But the fact that four of them came, especially one of them who I've had a more difficult relationship with in the past, it meant a lot to me. And it was really lovely to have them there. So three of my little cousins, one of my older cousins came to support me, and that was fucking awesome and rad. And I was like, oh my God, my cousins are here. Anyway, the party went well. It was bizarro to see my childhood friends that have been running around that house since I was a little one bring their little kids that are under 3 years old running around the house. It was just so strange, and it was nice to have the party. So that happened. And then every other day I had shit to do. So I was working. I also wanted to see some of my friends have had babies. There's all my favorite restaurants. I'm hustling around. And then starting on Thursday, I went to go see the premiere of the festival, which the Boston Film Festival opened up with Don't Worry, Darling at Fenway Regal. Now, I have always loved the Fenway area. Of course, that's where Fenway Park is. If you don't know, that's where the Red Sox play. It's also just a really cool happening part of town. Two of my favorite bars used to be there. They actually both closed during the pandemic, which I'm fucking devastated about. My favorite one being Eastern Standard, which is like, I just thought it was the most beautiful bar, red leather, old timey, like just fucking dope. I used to go there every single time I went home. I was so sad to hear that it closed. But that area is very cool. A lot of sports bars, just really fun. And so I was excited to go see Don't Worry, Darling there. Everybody coming in from LA was delayed that night. Their planes were delayed. So nobody was able to make it to Don't Worry, Darling because everybody was getting there so late. So they gave me a +1, and I asked a friend of mine from childhood, my friend Lisa, to come with me to the movie. She was like, what the fuck are we getting into? And I was like, I don't know. I just wear jeans. It will be fine no matter what happens. So next to Fenway, there's this place called Time Out, which I know there's several of those all over the country now. And it's essentially like a big indoor place. It's like a massive indoor food court, but more upscale than that. I don't mean upscale like fancy, but just like really yummy food. And there's a bar in there. So we went to the bar, had a drink, took a shot, went into the movie, got a glass of wine. Everybody there who welcomed us in was like, are you Roxy? Because obviously they're organizing the festival. So they've been communicating with me. They were really friendly, really lovely. We went into Don't Worry, Darling. And I thought the movie was fucking amazing. I don't have to say that. The film festival doesn't pay me to say that. I could slam the movie if I wanted to. I thought the movie was fucking amazing. I don't understand what's happening right now online. I think that Harry Styles is incredible in it. Florence Pugh is obviously wildly talented. Olivia, same thing. I saw that Winston today tweeted. I'm so surprised with him in this. I'm just surprised with the verbiage around this movie in general. And I feel like some of the people who are tweeting didn't even fucking watch it, because I'm like, if you guys watched it, I don't know if this is how you would feel. I'm so confused by it. But Winston tweeted and said, top tweet of the year nominee. And it's retweeting Finger Lump. Okay, what a handle, who said, don't worry, darling, boldly asked the question, what if a white lady tried to write a Jordan Peele movie? Which is super confusing for 5,000 reasons. Number one, because Jordan Peele didn't invent that genre, although he's amazing at that genre. I don't really get it. And number two, Don't Worry, Darling is fucking sick and deals with incel culture. So while I guess a funny enough tweet, I feel like the people that are ripping the movie kind of didn't get it, or they did get it and it wasn't for them. But to say this wasn't a great movie is bizarro to me. Like the way that it actually looks and is shot, chef's kiss, incredible. Oh God, I thought it was so good, and people are just slamming it. So even if it's not somebody's taste, like my friend Lisa was like, oh, I liked it. I don't know if it was a perfect movie. I don't know if it really spoke to me as much, but I thought it looked amazing and I think it was good. I think that's a perfectly fine take, or even somebody being like, oh, I don't think it was for me. That's fine too. But the people who are like, this was not a good movie. I'm like, what? What the fuck movie did you watch? This was not a good movie? Wow. Okay. I think you're wrong. I think you were wrong about that. You could say you didn't love it, but it wasn't good. Not understanding it. Not getting it. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Send in that support, please, and thank you. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so that was Thursday night. And at that point, I was still staying at home with my dad. I actually went home after that screening. And I just told you guys I had 3 drinks. Obviously, this was over the course of a little bit of time. I had 3 drinks. Then I Ubered home. My dad was on his way to the gym. And I was like, he was like, do you want to go to the gym with me? And I was like, yeah, I guess I'm not going to go this weekend because of the festival. So I should go and get my mind right. So I went to the gym, did cardio. I felt tipsy, my dudes. I'm at the gym and I was like, whoa, I gotta hydrate. This motherfucker is difficult tonight. And then I woke up the next day. I filmed Only Stupid Answers. I worked a little longer. And then I went to the Omni to check in, which is the amazing hotel in Seaport that they kept me at. It's so weird for me because the Seaport area was not big when I was coming up. The Seaport area was like packing and shipping places. There wasn't like a place that you went. Now Seaport is very upscale. It's right on the water, so it's like this gorgeous place on the water with so much incredible vibes and energy around it. Some people say it's a little sterile, and I get that, but to visit, it's like stunning. So I went to Omni. Omni was so gorgeous. Just simply chef's kiss. Like, what a hotel. They had one of the best downstairs. They had the best pastries I've ever had. They had, if you're ever at the Omni Seaport, they had this raspberry pistachio croissant that I wasn't going to get, but then the girl was like, you should get this thing. And I got it and was like, oh my God, what is the taste in my mouth right now? And why is it gold? It was so fucking good. Anyway, so I get there, I check in. I quickly get ready because they were doing a carpet on Friday. And also, because I'm from there, they flew me in, but my castmate Colin flew himself there. So I told him he could come stay with me in the hotel, which is great because he's my bestie in the movie and I love him. And so we shared a hotel together. And it was so much fun to be with him all weekend. And also another one of the stars in the movie, Sheldon, flew there, and he's amazing and stayed there. And our producer and director. So everybody was under one roof, which was great. And so Friday, we get ready. We go to this carpet. All the different cast and crews are at the carpet. We're filming some social promos. We're walking the carpet. We're taking photos. We're kind of schmoozing, getting to know people. And then we went from there to this movie called Bromates, which was playing at the Wilbur, which is actually a venue that I've only seen like play. It's in the theater district. So I've only seen plays or concerts there. And it was a really wild experience to see a movie there. I think that it was very cool to see it because the Wilbur is amazing, historic theater that's wonderful. Bromates was written by the same person. I think I earlier fucked up and said Hangover, whatever, but written by the same person who wrote Old School. So it was a comedy. I think that some of it was very funny. Parts of it were like, it just like, I think very bro-y because Bromates, it's very dude like. And so I think some of you guys would really like it. And I had wine during it. My whole cast was there. It was a really fun experience. And all the movies are relatively short too, which I love at a film festival. These film festivals, I think they were all under 2 hours, probably besides Don't Worry, Darling, which is great. And then after that, we went to the after party, which was at Guy Fieri's place Guy Fieri actually has 2 restaurants in Boston. It was one of his restaurants in Boston. Everyone went. So fucking fun. Just getting to know people. And I got to know the director of a movie that I was going to see the next night called American Murderer. This movie is bonkers. You guys have to see it. I think it comes to theaters in October. And it is the true story of a guy who is on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list. And it was like, it's called American Murderer. So you can kind of guess by that a little bit what it's about. It's a true story. I don't want to tell you too much more about it. Tom Pelphrey is the star of it. He's the guy who plays the brother in Ozark, who is so fucking good. He's also in the Netflix MCU shows. In this role, he is like out of the park, amazing. Dina Menzel is also in it. And so I was talking to the director and writer of that for a while, and he was awesome and so cool. And I was so nervous to see his movie because if it sucked, I was like, oh, this sucks. But it was great. So then the next day, I was showing my entire cast and crew all around Boston, which was so fucking fun for me. A lot of them had never been there, so it was a lot of pressure. I took them to all the places I feel like I had to take them to. The day before, they had gone to Quincy Market, so I didn't have to do that. We started in the North End, and we went to Mike's Pastry. We went and sat and had like coffees and a little bit of breakfast. The breakfast at this Italian place that was fucking amazing. It was like prosciutto and melon and like little pieces of avocado on bread, whatever it was fucking delicious. And they were like, wow, the prices here are so much cheaper than LA. And I was like, wow, that's crazy because Boston's known to be expensive, but I guess nothing's as expensive as LA. And then we went to Paul Revere's house. Y'all know Paul Revere. The British are coming. The British are coming. And that was really fun. We went on a little tour. We went to Mike's Pastries, which is the best pastry spot in in Boston. It's in the North End. If you are in Boston, you go to Mike's Pastries. If you do not go to Mike's Pastries, you did not go to Boston. You have to go there. They're famous for their cannolis. They have like 40 different kinds of cannolis. It's fucking sick there. Everybody gave it rave reviews. There's a place across the street called Modern. Some people will fight you that Modern's better. I would fight them. It is Mike's all the way. Have to go to Mike's. You cannot miss Mike's. You have to go to Mike's. You do not go to Modern. You can only go to Modern if you've already gone to Mike's. You cannot skip Mike's to go to Modern. Are you listening to me? Bueller. These are facts. I lived in Boston my whole life. Listen to me. If you hear me say anything, must go to Mike's. Get Mike's. The true best. And that they all loved it, which was so fun. I get an eclair there, by the way, because I don't do cannolis because they have ricotta cheese on them. And you guys know I can't eat cheese. Their cannolis, though, are the thing to get. So anyway, that. Pausing for Streamlabs. Thank you guys so much for the support. Appreciate you. Keep sending it in. Keep sending it in. We need that support this month, y'all. We need it. We're coming to the end of the month. Let's see what we can do on rent. Scott Welsh says, hey, Roxy, happy Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's the Jewish New Year. So Shana Tova to my people. Kind of a good time to cough up the dough. No, see, I can't say it like that because there's already the stereotype that Jews love money. It's so fucking annoying. Everybody loves money. Jews are like the least stingy people that I fucking know. The stereotype is whack flack. Ash in the Streamlabs says, hey, happy Friday. No, Ash, it's Tuesday. I've been working like 25/7 the past 7 days. Tomorrow's my first day off. And then I go on vacation next week. I didn't realize having stress lifted could feel so physically relieving. I literally feel like a weight on my chest is gone. Yeah, stress manifests physically in a way that is brutal. I'm glad that you feel that lifted weight, and I hope that you enjoy your day off. When I stress out, true story, if you guys don't know about this, when I stress out, I grow spots on my tongue. Let's see if we've got any. I can feel that there's some, so we'll see if you guys can see them. Sometimes they get really deep though. These are light spots. But when I really stress, it gets really fucking deep and it burns these holes in my tongue. It's fucking brutal. Disastrous. Anyway. Brittany Parker says whack flack. I heard that in the duck's voice. That makes perfect sense to me. That's totally fine by me. Yep. Okay, so then I took them after we went to Mike's. Then I took them to Bell in Hand, which is the oldest tavern or pub in the country, I think. Let me see if that's accurate. It says right on the thing. I've gone there since I was old enough to drink, since before that. Bell and Hand, Boston. Okay, let's see. Bell and Hand Tavern, logo. There aren't many historical sites where you can get a great meal and a cold beer. You're in one of them. The tavern's been around since 1795. That's wild. The gathering place for printers, politicians, sailors, and students has quickly become the most famous ale house in the city. What made it so popular? And then it goes on to say things. So imagine that, drinking somewhere that people have been drinking since 1795. It's really great there. It's right next to Faneuil Hall. So if you're in that area, it's a great place to stop. We stopped for drinks. It was lovely. Great, great, great. Moving on. Went to Newbury Street. Newbury Street is like the main shopping street in Boston. It was gorgeous weather outside, so it was great to be there. Walked around to a couple different places, popped into some stores, saw some things, and then we went back to the Seaport area so that we could have chowder on the harbor. So we went to Legal Seafood Harborside. Legal Seafood's all around Boston. I love Legals. They've got great clam chowder, my favorite clam chowder in the world, and they also have great lobster rolls. They've got these things called stuffies, which are quahogs with breadcrumbs. They're fucking, again, chef's kiss, delicious. So I took them there, and everybody loved everything we did. It made me so happy when people love my city. I'm just like, oh my God, they love it here. I'm stoked. This is so lovely. And they were amazing about it. Then we went back home, we went to change, and then we went to go see American Murderer, which again was by Matthew, who wrote it. I think it's Gentile who wrote it and directed it, who I'd already loved from the previous night. And it was so good. Go see this movie. It was excellently done. So suspenseful, a drama. I didn't know the story, so I was like fucking flabbergasted, and it was great. And then after that was my movie. We've gotten there. I keep calling it my movie, which is so pretentious and obnoxious. It's super duper not my movie. It is Jeff Graham's movie. He directed it. He wrote it. He edited it. This man made this movie with Laura, his incredible wife, Laura Palmer. But I never know now to call her Laura Palmer or Laura Graham. I've known her for a long time. She is Jimmy Kimmel's producer. She produced our movie. They were both there. And they're fucking incredible. Anyway, so Jeff and Laura were there, and then Sheldon and Colin, cast members, were there, who are both really good too. Excellent. And so we went to go to see our movie after the previous movie. I walk outside. Brandy was there. B. Lee, my girl. There was somebody there. This was so bizarro. Somebody there who was like, there were a couple people there that I didn't know. Most people there that I did know, because it was my dad, my sister, my brother, all their friends, all my friends, people from work, just everybody that I knew and loved. But this was a weird moment that I'll tell you guys about. This woman came up to me right before, and she was like, saw you written up in the patch, the Newton patch. So she read about the movie, and she was like, I just wanted to come up to you and say, I think we could use your help with something. And I was like, oh, what's going on? Because I was confused on what she was talking about. I thought she meant something to do with the movie. And she was like, well, I think that you probably know about West Newton Cinema, which is a movie theater, like an art house theater in my hometown. And they just closed. And I'm standing in line about trying to walk into my movie showing for all my family and friends. She's like, they closed and, or they're closing, and we're trying to turn it into a nonprofit, and I really think you can help the cause. So if you'd just be willing to have and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm actually about to walk in to see my movie right now. It's just like really isn't a great time to talk to me about you need my help with something. Love to have the conversation at a different time, but just right now is not a great time. And she was like, well, you asked me what I needed. And I was like, oh, I thought you were saying that you needed something about this movie right now. And she was not happy with me. Like, you could just tell that she was not happy that I was not willing to have the conversation with her right then. And I just was thinking to myself, like, what a bummer. And I'm sure the way that woman took that was that she went back to people and was like not happy with me, when I'm about to experience one of the biggest moments of my life so far, showing my dad, all my friends, all my family, this movie that I'm starring in my hometown that have been flown back and forth. I'm just so excited about. And then she used this as an opportunity to pitch me something. And it's not that I wouldn't help. I don't even know what she was asking for me, but like in that moment when I'm about to walk in the theater and I don't know you, like, send me a DMs, email me, reach out to me, tweet at me. But like, you know that she goes back. One time I had another person come up to me about something, and then she told everybody I was a fucking cunt. And I straight up know for a fact I've never been to a cunt to anybody who's ever been a fan of mine, or it's just not who I am. Somebody comes up to me, I'm not a cunt. I'm like, oh, nice to meet you, whatever. Anybody who's met me knows that. And this girl told everybody I was a cunt because something about, like, I was taking a picture with somebody else, and I said, oh, sorry, I have to walk inside. it's just so fucking rude that people can say whatever they want to say when I'm just there for my own experience. Just bizarre, just frustrating and bizarre. But anyway, yeah, so if you hear from this woman that I was a bitch, I was not. And maybe she isn't saying that. Maybe she goes home and kicks herself like, oh, I shouldn't have talked to her during that moment. But she seems so annoyed with me that I don't think that's the case. But who knows? Who knows? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. We went in to see the movie. Everybody chanted, all my friends, Lola, Lola, which was fucking embarrassing and hysterical. And I loved it, but also couldn't stand it and fell into my seat. It's kind of like how Glenn always says, I hate being complimented. In that moment, I was like, oh my God, leave me alone, you crazy people. But also I was like, oh, you guys are cute. And then the director, Jeffrey Crane Graham, invited me up to speak beforehand, which was really cool. And I did. I just thanked everybody briefly, and then we watched the movie. It was kind of a different screening than screenings in the screenings I've seen in LA so far, because my friends, like everybody in LA goes to a lot of movies. A lot of my friends who are in the movie haven't seen a movie in years. Like they're not big, we go to the movie people. And so I felt like it was a little quieter. But then afterwards, I felt like they really liked it, which is great. And that's what they all said to me. And my sister said she was listening around the room to see what people were saying when I wasn't there. And everybody was saying how happy they were with it, which was great. Hi to my brother. Hi, Jet. Happy to have you here. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being at the screening in LA, the premiere, and the screening in Boston. You can speak on both of those. So then afterwards, it was fun. Afterwards, right after the screening, we went down to the right near where the actual movie is, and whatever the fuck you want to call that. I was going to call it the stage, but it's not really a stage, it's just the floor. And this woman, Monica from NBC, interviewed us, did a quick Q&A, which was really cool, and I felt like the shit. And who knows if I actually was the shit, but I felt really cool because it was all my friends watching me talk on stage. And I was like, oh man, I'm really doing it, shitting in the street. Actually, Sheldon, one of my cast members, who's a fucking amazing, texted me today, and he said, I was just thinking about how you crushed the Q&A, which I thought was very sweet. I'm pretty good at speaking about like doing Q&A things because you guys know I'm a host. So I can kind of read the room and gauge responses. So I felt good about that for sure. And then everybody kind of waited in line to hug me. And I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. These are all my closest friends, like not knowing who to hug or where to go. So that was a wild child and very cool. And then when we went to the final party closing night of the film festival, which I will tell you guys about in a second. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. John Get Bent says, have a great time at the concert. Who's opening for Joan Jett? Still hoping always Lola will make it to Canada eventually. That'd be so cool. I'm hoping you're able to see it too. No, it's not a Joan Jett concert. I'm going to the Taylor Hawkins tribute concert, and Joan Jett's going to be there, which is really fucking cool. Shout out to Mark Ellis, a true champion. Legend and a scholar for sure. John Lestrina says in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, I choose to make my own fate. Dominic Toretto. That's what I'm saying. It's Rosh Hashanah. We get to make resolutions. It's the new year. Make your own fate. One of the things of your fate could be, I pledge allegiance to the rock stars of the United States of Roxy and to the rock stars for which it's Streamlabs. $10 under streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, indivisible with cojones and gusto for all. I just made it up in case you couldn't tell. Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, I hope you and Ellis have a super good time at the Taylor Hawkins tribute concert tonight. Kudos to Mark for getting you a ticket. The lineup is wild. Just stacked. So many musical acts. I love seeing. Definitely going to stream the show ASAP. Not only did he get me a ticket, but he told me I could bring 2 other people of my choosing. So you better believe you know who I fucking chose. So exciting. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. So then there was the after party, which was back at the Omni up at Float, which was really beautiful. The one thing I wish I did was win the hot tub. There was a sick hot tub at the rooftop of the hotel. And I brought my bathing suit, but it wasn't that kind of party. I didn't bring my bathing suit up to the party. I just brought it to the hotel. And but the after party, a lot of people had been there for a long time because ours was by far and away the latest to get out, but it was still really nice. But I was so hungry. There was no more food left because everybody ate it all. But it was lovely, just kind of wrapping out the event, exchanging information with some people, talking to some people, talking to people who ran the festival, thanking them and all of that. And then a lot of my castmates were leaving the next day at 6 a.m. So we went back, just kind of hung with us for a little bit, just with me, Sheldon, and Colin, and then went to sleep. And then the next day I got to spend a little bit of the morning in the hotel, and they were great. I asked for an extended checkout just because I wanted to chill there. They gave it to me. They were lovely about it. Can't recommend the Omni enough, especially for those croissants. And that's that. That was that. And then I went home and I watched the Patriots lose, and that was a bummer, but I got to do it with my family for Rosh Hashanah, and went over to the cemetery, the Sem, and saw my mom. Is that the right way to phrase it? That can't be right. And then stayed through Monday, worked in the morning, and then went to the airport. Now I'm back here and feeling super blue about not being with my family. I always have a really hard time leaving, but especially when it's warm weather there. And I've got big events like that. And it's like, oh God, Boston, you're my home. Do, 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 do. And now I've been hearing from the people at the festival, and we've been exchanging some emails. And I think everybody was really happy with it. I've made a couple TikToks about it, and I definitely just hope one day I have another movie in there. Would love to be able to go again. And yeah, it's just great. Just fuck yeah. Hell yeah. So excited about it. Yes to that. Anyway, that was the whole shebang. Brandy's here. The movie is great. Thanks, Brandy. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming to it. I was so excited to see her. I went to the bathroom at one point during the end of American Murderer when they were doing a Q&A, and I walked out and Brandy was there. And I was like, my girl. At first I didn't see her because I was looking in the bathroom. And then I couldn't remember where I came from. It was a whole fucking to-do. But yeah, they did a great job at the festival. The Boston trip was great. I'm trying to think of anything else I didn't tell you guys. Ask me questions if you have them, or you need Rex in Boston. Oh, I got to see my sister's new apartment, which was great. And we went out on the boat. I showed you guys pictures from that. That was really fun. Went to Soup Factory and Anna's Taqueria, which you know are my two favorite spots back home. I did a night with my friend Chris. We went to a sushi restaurant and then bopped around to all different random bars in Coolidge Corner. It was a hell of a trip. Hell of a trip. Oh, and I worked the entire time. The whole fucking time. Just keep working. Yeah. And then today, so far, we did SN Live this morning. Then I did live with Roxy on Colin after that. And now I'm here doing this. And in between those things, I watched an episode of Handmaid's Tale. So I'm all caught up. I'm 3 episodes in. It's holy shit good. It's super sad. Definitely recommend it. Not at nighttime. Yeah. Let's see what's going on. Brandy said, I thought Roxy was high because she couldn't find the door back in the movie. I know, and I wasn't. She was like, how high are you? I was like, I'm not. Why does everybody always ask me that? I'm not high. I mean, sometimes I'm high, but never when people ask me that. When I'm high, you should know. And not that. Yeah. All right. Much love, friends. Here for a little bit longer. If y'all have questions for me, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Otherwise, I shall be getting out of here. Glenn Caesar says, and now I want a croissant. Thank you, Roxy. Oh, croissants are so good. But I'm telling you, this raspberry pistachio one was the best croissant I've ever had in my life. And since I'm a glutton for punishment, have a major sweet tooth. What's the best croissant you ever had? It was literally that one. It was the best croissant I've ever had in my life. What's the croissant's topping and ingredients again? What's the best eclair you've had? The best croissant I've ever had was honestly probably this one. It was so fucking good. It was pistachio raspberry, which is not flavors I would typically order, but it was so good at the Omni Hotel. And the best eclair I've ever had is Mike's Pastries. Absolutely. It's the best pastry spot. Boston has such good food. I know my dad always says that LA has better food, but Boston has like, not soul food as in that's the type of food, but food that feeds my soul. And out here does have some great food, but it's usually like high class food or like nice restaurants. There are some great hole in the walls for sure, but I love Boston. Brittany says, yeah, Handmaid's is fire this season. It really is. It really is. Because we're finally getting like a little bit of vengeance, but also the times that we're not, I want to just like cry for us. That was a lot of likes, Roxy. Have you been broadcasting for too many hours today? Sounds like it. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. So much love to you, my friends. Send in Streamlabs if you're watching this after the fact. Tomorrow I'll be live with the World Girls, World Girl Wednesday. We got actually a really fun show for tomorrow. I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm going to read you what Dee texted us. It was her idea, and it's fucking smart, so I'm excited about it. She said to us, let me read the exact question, which I thought was cute. Okay, she said, Wednesday show, thoughts or ideas on this? It's ask a stupid question day, so we could each bring a few for each other and ask stupid questions. Hopefully people send them in too. How many examples? How many chickens would it take to be able to kill a lion? Or if you were to appoint a president of the internet, who would it be and why? I love stupid question day. So we're doing stupid questions. It's going to be really fucking stupid and super fun. So join us tomorrow for that. And then Thursday, I'll either do live at the Roxy or live with Roxy, but I got to take Grammy to some stuff. So I'll probably do one of those that day. And then Friday, only stupid answers. And then either live at the Roxy or live with Roxy. And then Sunday with the World Girls again. Now y'all are caught up. So much love to you, my friends. Wish me luck going to this concert. Wish me safe passage to the concert. Traffic in the city is crazy. Telecommon says, just wanted to say, dig the eyeshadow and love the lighting in that theater picture. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this eyeshadow I had a lot of fun with today. Dun, 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 dun. If my brother's still in here, remember when I used to have panic attacks because you would run around and make me and say blank over and over again, and I fucking hate that word. I'll never forget that. All right. So much love, friends. Bye, Avery. Good to have you, babe. Bye to everybody. Thank you for being here. Stay safe, and put down the toilet seat and lid. You don't want those buffoons. Don't trend with the Holocaust, especially not over Rosh Hashanah, you fucks. Justice for all the people lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice. Wherever you are on the rainbow, we love you. And I will see you guys tomorrow for World War Wednesday. Later.